Well, I've been the trauma director here for 15 years. It's exciting. The thing I like about trauma is you have no idea what's going to come through that door in the next minute or the next hour. It may be very quiet, it may be very busy. You may get some type of unique injury that you've never seen before or that you read about, and you have to be ready for all types of injuries, any type of surgical procedure. My name is Alan Tyrock. I'm the Trauma Medical Director at UMC, the Level 1 Trauma Center for the region. The state of Texas designates 4 levels of trauma centers. There's actually 17 Level 1 trauma centers in the state of Texas, and we are the only one for a 270-mile radius. What a Level 1 trauma center means, it's actually the ultimate level of trauma care being provided to the injured people in a region. And what sets it apart from other trauma designations like 2, 3, and 4 is, 1, the academic expertise, various specialties that other centers don't have, meaning microvascular, replantation, cardiothoracic, and vascular, as well as in-house, meaning in the hospital, trauma surgeons, anesthesiologists, various specialties of the various disciplines, and it's a higher level of care.
The intersection of Trans Mountain and North Desert Boulevard. Police tell ABC7 the 24-year-old Benjamin Stewart was pedaling east on Trans Mountain.
Stewart suffered head injuries and remains at Thomason Hospital at this hour.
On October the 4th of 2005, after dinner, we tried to reach our son BJ on the phone, and after a number of attempts, we knew he'd been out bicycle riding and we couldn't reach him, and so we took off and started driving. Our younger son told us he had noticed an accident off the freeway at Trans Mountain Road, and so we decided we better go make sure that was not BJ. And so we drove up, and they still had the access road completely closed off, and so my wife Ann and I parked underneath the freeway off the side and climbed up the embankment. And there we found a crumbled bicycle, BJ's bicycle, and the police told us that he had just been taken away, and they were not sure of his condition. They knew that he was in very, very grave condition when he left the scene of the accident. And so we asked where they had taken him, and they told us that he'd been taken to University Medical Center. And so we drove straight down then to the hospital. And candidly, I will tell you that I was concerned. I didn't know that much. I knew it was the county hospital, and I had my own preconceived ideas about a county hospital. And so I was not sure about the level of care that he could get there, and having seen the bicycle, I knew if he was alive at all, that he was in very serious condition. Over the next few weeks, we would learn a whole different story about the hospital, and we would see the incredible professionalism of the people, and the technology that was there, and everything that came together that in fact helped restore the life of our son.
I've gotten to know a number of people from the hospital, and good people, good staff, incredible leadership team.
Did you even know the difference between level 1, level 2, or anything like that?
I really did not. I knew he was in trauma, and I just knew, I thought that was the same as kind of ER, and I really did not know much. I really gained an education over those next few weeks as we stayed there. And the hospital was so very gracious to us. Though he was in trauma care, they recognized that as a part of as he began to recover, and he was in a coma for 6 weeks, but they recognized the value of him having people around him and hearing familiar voices. It had not been that long before that he'd been in a war zone, both in Afghanistan and Iraq. And so they felt like it was important for him to know he was home and to hear familiar voices. And so they were very gracious to let us be with him there in the trauma center, and to have other family members and close friends come in and spend time with him while he was there.
We're going to start the scan, so I need you to do a 5 and place it on the device, and then we'll slide all the way.
The PatientSecure system is basically a biometrics registration system. Patient safety is our number one concern. And what this system allows us to do is scan a patient's palm so that this way there is a vascular print that is only particular to their identification. And so it is positively identifying that patient at time of registration. In our environment or in our community, as with a lot of communities, we may have multiple patients with the same name and potentially the same date of birth. So what PatientSecure does for us is positively identify that patient.
Go ahead and place just the way you had it.
So as an example, we may have a patient that comes in whose name is Carlos Martinez. When we look in our registration database, we may see that there are 20 Carlos Martinez's. So then we will ask the patient, well, what is your date of birth? And that, of course, would reduce the number of Carlos Martinez's, but let's say we end up having 3 Mr. Carlos Martinez's with the same date of birth. What PatientSecure does is narrow that 3 Carlos Martinez's with the same date of birth to that exact Carlos Martinez with that vascular recognition. But of course, in our environment as an emergency department and a level 1 trauma center in our region, the main benefit that we see for our patients that do come through the emergency department and our trauma center is if in fact they are enrolled in PatientSecure, when they come in for services, all we would need to do is to scan them into the system. If they've been enrolled, then again, the benefit, of course, is that they would all automatically come up as a positive identifier so that this way our nursing staff would already have access to their medical record. You know, we are the first in the region to deploy PatientSecure. There are other facilities nationwide that are using it at this time, but we're the first in the region.